Hey everyone, this is Mike from Real Life Counseling, and today the quote we're going to talk about is, "Don't be ashamed of your story. It will inspire others." And it certainly can and has for me. One of the things that inspired me was when I read the book The Catcher in the Rye. And there was one point in the story where the high school teacher of Caulfield, Holden Caulfield, said to him, there are many people who have experienced what you're experiencing. You're not alone. And a number of those people have written books. And when you read books about people who have gone through things that you've gone through, you're not alone. There are people who have experienced the same pain, grief, suffering, sadness, and happiness and joy. And so the way that you can be that catcher in the rye, the way you can help other people, as Holden wanted to, was you can tell your story. When we read what other people have gone through, it is inspiring, and everybody's story is inspiring. Everyone has had some challenge, some obstacle they've had to overcome, or perhaps failed to overcome, but even there's a lesson that people can learn about what to do or what not to. So telling your story, sharing your story is very important, and don't be ashamed of your story. You are not the only one. The details may be different. Everyone has their own individual experiences, no matter what it is. But a lot of the stories of loss and suffering, of grief, of tragedy, trauma, even just everyday challenges, we all can relate to some extent. We've all suffered loss. We've all suffered pain. We all deal with loneliness. The circumstances may be different, but we can all relate to pain. And so your story can be very inspiring to other people. And I would encourage you to share that in a safe way. Obviously, you don't want to expose yourself to people who could use things against you or who are not necessarily have your best interests. But you and your experiences may very well be inspiring to others. It may give them hope. It may make them feel less alone. And so sharing your story can enable you to be the catcher in the rye. It can enable you to catch all those kids who will otherwise run over the cliff, and you can help them. You can inspire them. You can let them know that there are other people who have experienced other things similar to them and have survived and have dealt with it. And that doesn't mean they always conquered it, but you've dealt with it. You've figured out a way to deal with what you've had to deal with, and not have it control your life. So again, do not be ashamed to tell your story, and do not be ashamed to tell your story to yourself. Sometimes we hide, even from ourselves. We bury things. And it may come out in therapy. There may be other triggers that bring out things, and so having people to talk to about it, friends, family, therapist, a coach, can be very helpful. But we all have wonderful stories to tell, very inspiring stories, stories that have message and a meaning and a purpose, and sometimes a guidepost. So please don't be selfish with your story. Your story is as important as anyone else's story, and you never know who might be moved and inspired and touched by your story, who might feel like, finally, there's someone who understands me. I'm not the only one going through this. There are other people out there. So don't hide your story. Share it, and that would be such an incredible gift to the world and to other people. And don't hide that gift. Give it freely, but safely. You don't want to, again, put yourself in a position where people can use things against you that you don't want used. So use the appropriate caution, but don't be ashamed of who you are and where you've come from and what you've done, or even what you failed in them. We learn more from our mistakes. I know that's a cliche, but there's a lot of truth to it. We do learn more from our mistakes in some cases than from our successes. So tell your story, and I'd love to hear them. If you have a great story, please let me know, because I get inspired by people all the time. So if you like this video, please hit like. If you'd like to subscribe, please do. And if you want notifications of new videos, please hit that little bell icon, and you'll be the first on your block to hear of a new video. See you next time. Thanks.